coming home. This machine wages peace, and this machine runs on belief, and there ain't nothing they can do to shut it down. There ain't nothing they can do to shut it down. It ain't nobody ever gonna turn this thing around, 'cause this machine makes the sound. This machine wages peace, and this machine runs on belief, and there ain't nothing they can do to shut it down. There ain't nothing they can do to shut it down. And ain't nobody ever gonna turn this thing around, 'cause this machine makes the sound of love, of love.
Thank you. We're the Family Folk Machine, a part of the Family Folk Machine. We often take up much more of this stage. My name's Jean Littlejohn. I'm the director, and just one word about us. We're an intergenerational, non-auditioned choir. Our current members range in age from about 4 to 86 or so, and we're open to everybody in the community. We have a little bit of information about our choir on a table out in the lobby, so we'll hope that you might check that out on your way out or when you're wandering about. And among the things there's a tiny little low-tech leaflet with our concert dates for fall. We're doing 2 concerts in November of songs about friendship, and we'd love to see you there. That first song we sang was an original by Jeff Capps, who is singing up here, called This Machine. He wrote it for our 5th anniversary last spring. And we're going to do one more song for you before the program officially gets underway tonight. And this next song is called Rain and Snow, and it's by local hero Greg Brown.
What you want, you can have. I've got 2, and you can have the bigger. I figure it's only fair. If you want to listen, go ahead, take an eat, and anyway, this rain will wash us off of here. There's a root sticking out from the dirt. It won't hurt to pull it clear right here and make a fire. A shelter of sticks, something high and low, rain and snow like a choir.
Thank you to the Family Folk Machine for that wonderful performance before. Family Folk Machine is a nonprofit, intergenerational, non-auditioned choir that welcomes kids and adults of all ages and backgrounds to sing together with a folk band. They seek to build backgrounds to sing together with a folk band. They seek to build community through singing songs with neighbors to foster individual community growth and to pursue excellence as an ensemble. They have been working on pieces with one of our guests, Rachael Reeves. If you're interested in learning more about the Family Folk Band or being a part of the choir, there will be a table outside at the back of tonight's performance.
Hello, hello. My name is Katie.
I'm Allison.
I'm Melanie. For the TAs for tonight's green room.
As you walked in, you might have noticed not only the adorable children standing outside, but the hearts that they were helping to distribute. As you will notice more later on tonight, buckets and hearts are a bit of a theme, along with music and community.
Prusill Preschool of Music has come today to share music with all of us. And in preparation for tonight, the kiddos were asked, why music? So we took the same question and posed it to all of you. As a team and class, we all answered the same question. Our team will give you a little snapshot for some of the answers given by the Green Room students. My answer for why music is because it's beautiful.
My answer is because it brings community together.
My answer is because music is human.
Our students will now share their answers with you all.
My answer is because it inspires choreography.
Music is a way to express myself.
My answer is music is a universal language.
Because there's a song for everyone.
Because music helps people understand.
Because music helps me shine my light.
Because music is an escape from reality.
Because music brings everyone together.
Because music transcends barriers. We deliberately placed students mixed with the community tonight to further interaction between all of the Green Room students. We invite you to turn to a person you do not know, either in front of you or behind you, and discuss the question, why music?
Thank you all for sharing with your neighbors. While hearts are a major theme for the night, so is community. Prusill Preschool believes that children have the right to a voice in their community just as much as adults. So who better to come and share their voices tonight than the children? Trisha Winchell has come with her preschool class to share a song that they wrote with some help from Rachael Reeves, one of our keynote guests for the night. Let's welcome Trisha and Rachael to the stage.
I've got a big bucket of hearts here. First off, I want to thank Dave and the students from the Green Room for including the youngest voices in our community to participate in your musical discussion tonight. So thank you all very much for having us. We are very fortunate to live in this community that values the important ideas of young children. And I want to thank Rachael for coming to Iowa City, for coming out to Prusill this morning and sharing your music with us, and for most of all answering some of our most pressing questions that we've had for you. So the preschoolers have one more question for you.
Oh, goodness.
And that's, why music?
Short answer, long answer. I think the whole evening will kind of be an answer, but I guess for me, it's always been a driving motivation to create strands of connection between people. I think so often we feel isolated and we feel alone, we feel like we're the only ones who feel a certain way. And I think music is an incredible way to bridge that isolation. And it also, for me, pays the bills, and it's a way to travel, and it's a way to commune with my friends and commune with strangers, and the list goes on.
Yeah. So why music? And we're asking all of you that same question tonight. This is a question that we asked our preschoolers on their very first day of school. And the first answer that was shouted out was given out by Jane, and she just shouted out, because it makes people happy. So, right? Duh. Other answers quickly followed about music. It makes your head happy. It makes us all feel all fulled up and shiny. It makes our eyeballs dance. It makes us excited and just want to run. It makes our hearts sing. Music is as good as birthday parties. So that's a lot for a 3-year-old to say. And it's as good as a brand new toy. Sometimes, though, music makes us sad. So if we sing a song at preschool that reminds children of their moms, it might make them sad and might miss their mom a little bit. So really, music is all the feels, right? Makes us feel things? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as one child put it, music is a bucket of hearts. So after this idea came, we just started putting all of our musical ideas on paper hearts, on real hearts, and putting them in real buckets, and we gathered up a great big bucket of hearts, and we started asking this question of our family and our friends and really anyone passing through our school. And we're gathering all kinds of hearts, and we're here tonight to ask our community this same question: why music? So we are hoping to have a great big bucket of hearts tonight to go home with. If you have not filled out your heart yet, please do so and make sure you drop it in our bucket. When Dave first approached me about creating a song for tonight, we weren't sure what it would look like, and we didn't know what it would sound like. We didn't even know what it would be about. But we just let the children guide us, and we listened to their ideas and their voices, and they took us on this musical journey. I forgot to show you my bucket of hearts. There's our bucket of hearts. So we listened to their voices. They got the words, picked out the words they wanted. They listened to the chords and picked out just the right tune that they wanted. And then we sent some ideas to Rachael. And Rachael, I have to tell you, they absolutely adore you. I don't know if you've gotten that feeling yet from them, but they really do adore you. So we gave our ideas to Rachael. Rachael added a few lines, sent it our way, and we worked on it till it felt just right. So through this process, we've also discovered that children believe that music is best when it's shared. Music is better when my mom is with me. When I sing with people, I feel that I love them. My dad sings to me and it makes me happy. We all do music together because it's more fun. And so we're here tonight to share our song with you, but since music is best done together, we want you all to join us in, so hopefully you got your little red sheet with the lyrics on it, and we want you to sing with us. And if you don't know how, don't worry because we'll show you. Don't leave these preschoolers hanging. We want to hear all these voices out here. They're up past their bedtime, so they really need some help.
So it might be too dark to see the lyrics, but I think you were given something with the lyrics when you came in, a little red sheet. So if you can see that, feel free to sing along. But we think you're gonna get the drift of the song pretty swiftly. We believe in you. And then there's a part in the middle that's kind of a call and response. So get over any shyness you have and join in.
Music feels like a bucket of hearts. Music feels like a bucket of hearts. I'll take your hand. I'll show you how. If you feel alone, a song can take you home. La la la, la la la.
I don't hear you.
Ooh, la 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 la. Meow meow meow. Woof woof woof. Ooh, la la la. Boom chicka boom. Cha 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 cha. Cha 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 cha. Ah ah ah. Ooh ooh ooh.
Help us out, audience.
Sad and happy parts. Music feels like a bucket of hearts. Music feels like a bucket of hearts. And like a secret, you ready? Music feels like a bucket of hearts. All right, everyone, get your shoes.
Each week, the Green Room partners with a nonprofit organization in an effort to keep the community at the heart of each night. We would also like to thank Prusel for coming out tonight. It is their bedtime, so they have to leave. They can't stay with us for the evening. But we are so grateful that they came out and performed for us tonight. So thank you, Prusel. Like I was saying, we partner with a nonprofit organization each week. Tonight we are partnering with the Elliott Theater. We are so grateful that they allow us to use their space every single week, and they allow us to spend our Monday nights here, and we could not ask for a better organization to collaborate with week after week. So a huge thank you goes to the Elliott. Here to speak on their behalf is Andre Perry. Let's all welcome Andre to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to the space. Hope you're having a wonderful fall. We're so excited to welcome the Green Room back to the Elliott, back to Iowa City, to have the students, to have the community members. All of it just feels good. So thank you to the Green Room class. Thank you to Dave and all the work that he does. I'm just going to say a few things about the Elliott. This is us. This is where we are. I don't have to, I guess, show you any pictures, but I will. But you're in it. So I think a lot just about how the Elliott, even came about. This place was built in 1912, and the story that I'm told or supposed to tell to donors and city people and things like that is that, Etta Elliott was the wife of William or Billy Elliott, and she was a big fan of the performing arts, and told her husband, we should have a theater in Iowa City so that we're on the map like other, cities and other towns in America at that time were building theaters that were similar. And he said, we got to have one. And so that's what convinced Billy, to I guess go ahead and invest the money to do it and to build the theater. And it became the Elliott, and there was vaudeville and all sorts of performances here. That's the story. Some of it's probably true, some of it's maybe not true. But here's the bottom line. Is they made this place, they built this place, and community members gathered to see artists who might have been from one of the coasts or traveling across the country or from somewhere around the world, or they might have seen artists or people who were from Iowa, and it was a way to get the people into a space to spend time together, to be amazed by something, to totally detest something, to argue with each other about it afterwards. But the key is we got the community from point A into point B to interact and connect with each other. And, many years later, after it became a movie theater, several movie theaters, a movie theater with a wall down the middle, there were a lot of citizens who decided, hey, there's an opportunity here to repurpose this building again to its original use. And what started happening in 1999 and 2000 is that this place was renovated. And it came back to this form that we're in today of, again, becoming a space where people could congregate and enjoy things together. And when I think about the core of our mission of what we are as the Elliott right now, what we're trying to do when we wake up every day is inspire positive community growth through the arts. And no matter where they started in 1912, here in 2018, we want to hold on to that one kernel, that one piece of what they were trying to do, which was, can we get the community into this space? And it seems like a really simple mission and a really simple task, but it's really difficult because communities can be really fractured, and they're often more fractured than we like to admit they are. Although I know a lot of people in this room are pretty sensitive to all the different things that might keep someone out of a space or might invite someone into a space. And so that's the challenge that we are working with on a daily basis when we operate as the Elliott. I think about the great building, the great effort that went into building this place and supporting it and, making it happen back in the early 1900s. I also think about maybe Billy Englert didn't like black people, and women weren't able to vote until like 1920. And I'm not trying to be shocking, but this is just like real stuff you got to think about. That was a different community. So how do we push the Englert forward? How do we get the community to be a better community gathering space, or get the Englert to be a better community gathering space? And what are we doing wrong that hopefully this place lasts till 2200 or whatever? What are they going to do better than what we're doing right now? And we're just trying to keep nurturing those foundations, to keep nurturing that community gathering spirit, so that what we do now might be a great way to bring people together, and what might happen in the future can be a great way of bringing people together. One of our dear friends and performers who comes to the Englert, who's not represented here, that's Ghostface Killer from the Wu-Tang Clan, but one of our great friends, Nate Staniforth, he's a magician, and he's much more than that, but he's trying to help us believe in magic, right? He wants us to be 3 years old or 30 years old or 80 years old and still believe in magic. And I think a lot of our job is helping to share magic. We're trying to get people in here so they can have experiences, so they can be transformed, and at its greatest effect can be transformed together, so that they might talk to someone else who they walk by the street or drive by every day, but they've never talked to, but they lived in the same city for 18 or 20 years. How can we share magic? What kind of things can we do to bring magic into this space, to bring magic into Iowa City? This week we're doing a festival called Witching Hour, which I think is all about how do we discover and share magic? How do we be creative people? How do we think about the future of the world? How do we, maybe be more innovative in our daily practice? And so that festival, I think, represents a lot of what we're trying to do on a daily basis, and is maybe one of the reasons why we created it, and hope to continue doing it. It's like, how do we continue to engage the world? How do we continue to feel that magic? And when you ask me, like, why am I here? Why do I spend, all these hours trying to do this work? One, because I have so much love for this community, but anytime we can share that magic, share that community building with 2 people or 200 people or 1,000 people, I feel like our community is maybe taking just a slow but important step forward. And those can add up and add up and add up. I get old, I retire, other people come in our space, and it adds up, it adds up, it adds up. And that's the small work we can do to help push this place forward. And we're just like one little speck of all the things that are happening in Iowa City, the Iowa City area, Johnson County, Linn County. And Dave asked me to say, hey, what can you guys do to help us? I think my board of directors would say, tell them to give us money. So we stick around. And I think, I think that is important. Money does play a role, but I think the 2 most important things that I would ask of you are, can you attend? Can you engage? I just ask you to be curious, to try something you haven't tried before, and engage with us and take a chance on things. And if you find that you can't afford to take a chance on things, you call our box office, or you find me in the street and say, hey, I need to get into this thing because I think it's really important, but I got to pay rent, and I can't do both this month, and we'll find a way to make that happen. And if you do engage with things here, the second thing I ask of you is just to be an advocate for curious experiences and magical experiences for us in this community, whether it's at the Englert or Hansher or Riverside Theater or out on the Ped Mall, a performance that just pops up, or something that happens in one of the parks. Just be an advocate for magical experiences. And that's it. So we're the Englert Theater. If you ever have any questions, come talk to me, come talk to one of our staff or volunteers. I think anyone who's here can talk about this place in a real and honest way. And because we're going into Witching Hour this week, I just want to honor the beautiful and amazing work that the Green Room class has done to produce and lead these sessions that we have every Monday night in this fall period. And that I think they might know, or maybe they don't know, but We are inviting all Green Room students to come participate in Witching Hour this year. You do not need to buy a pass. Dave's going to send you an email, and you just get in, because the kind of work you're doing is so aligned with the kind of work that we're trying to do, and we just want to share that love back. And if there's anyone... If there's anyone in the community who, if you're here, you're in the Green Room. So that's another distinction. But if there's anyone in the community who feels like they want to engage with what's going on with Witching Hour, and this is just not the right time of the month, to pay for that pass or for that ticket, just let us know. Come find me. Come find our box office. You'll come in. Everyone's welcome. All right. Thank you.
Rachael Reeves is a musician, songwriter, and director from Minneapolis, Minnesota. She has released 3 albums and 3 EPs and is currently on tour for her new project, Her Crooked Heart. She will be performing and sharing tonight with Jesse Elliott. We welcome Rachael back to the stage.
Hello. Do I take it away now, or do you have more to say?
I have one more thing. And then Jesse Elliott is a University of Iowa alum and former honors student. Today, Jesse serves as the director for the music district. He was mentored by Bob Kirby, and Bob will now welcome Jesse to the stage.
I'm not actually sure if Jesse is coming to the stage yet, but that's okay. There's so many surprises going on.
Good evening. This was a surprise to me as well, because I didn't think I would be speaking tonight. So I'm going to welcome Jesse to the stage, but first say a few comments. First, it's a special opportunity to welcome Jesse to the stage. This has been a special weekend for me. It's been the 60th anniversary of Honors at Iowa. And I started in the honors program about 2 decades ago. And I would say if there was anyone who was most responsible for my education in honors, it probably was Jesse. And that seems backwards, right? I was supposed to be the one who was educating. But I think my education really came from the students who've come through the program. And that continues to this day. So for all of you who are part of the Green Room class, thank you for all that you do for Dave, for myself. You educate us each and every time we come together as a group. So thank you for doing that. And I want to bring out Jesse now and thank him as well. If there wasn't Jesse having come through the friends that he worked with at the time, I would have to say there probably would be no Green Room today. Jesse changed my perspective on what could be done by students, and we're embarrassing him tremendously, hopefully. But anyway, he really did make me realize that education was more about being able to do things than providing you with information. It was that balance. It's a two-way street in education. And as part of our 60th anniversary, I've been hearing so much about the role of the honors program in educating our students. And what has really stood out to me is just the role you have played in educating so many others at the university in your time here. And Jesse, his great friends, wherever he is back there, he's the one who did that for me. So thank you.
Hey.
Thank you.
I'm Jesse. I'm not supposed to be on stage quite yet, so I'm just going to put my laptop awkwardly right here and turn it back over to my dear friend, Rachael Reeves.
Thanks. So hi, my name is Rachael. I'm not from here. Rachael Reeves is the name my folks gave me, Rachael K. Reeves. And I'm from South Dakota originally, and then I spent most of my my early formative years in what was then Zaire, the Democratic Republic of Congo. I'm giving you a little bit of bio. So that was a funny way to be raised. And music, when I was a little kid in Zaire, was the way people communicated their love, their fear, their faith, everything. I remember my brother got bit by a snake, and what I remember is all the women coming through and singing their fear and singing their faith that he would be healed. So those are some of my thoughts when I think about why music. It's the way to express everything. And so then we moved to South Dakota, and I was raised in a little Mennonite farming town in South Dakota. Are there any other Mennonites in the house? Yeah! I figured I'd find some in these parts. Grew up in a little Mennonite farming town, always had a song. My parents were very... everyone in my family makes music in one way or another, and they always nurtured that. And I began to gravitate in high school to expressing my story in song. It's how I wrestled out loud with any questions I had. It's how I would write songs that would be pep talks for myself. Songs are really how I personally have answered questions, or at least asked the questions. Sometimes I don't get an answer, and that's okay. But I thought I would let you guys get to know me a little bit through this song. It's called Holiest Day, and it's off of my last record. And I wrote this song when I met my Amish doppelganger, and I so very much wanted to trade places with her. Here I was, hurtling through the world, touring, caring, striving, searching for the spotlight, caring what people thought of me. And here was my Amish doppelganger, probably related if you go back far enough. And she had everything. And what did I have? All I had was a longing that was driving me faster and faster through the world. And yet she had a big, beautiful family, faith, food, shelter, done. Like, what else do we really need? And so that experience brought about this song, which I'll share with you now. And maybe it's relatable, maybe it's not. Maybe we'll go be Amish after this song. Tomorrow, Amishness begins. I drove away far from the lake, and I found the farmer's daughter, and we could have been sisters if I were humble. Clothes muddy, red-cheeked and reticent. I looked around and I wished that I could stay, and I'd cover my head. I'd keep the fire going, and I would tuck the kids all into bed. See, I know all the hymns. I'd say my prayers and I'd close my eyes to wake at dawn and do it all over again. So half in jest, I asked if I could stay and help milk the cows. Well, Annie looked away and she said, just come back in an hour. Asking for more, we ask for more, always for more. We ask for more. So I drove away back to the lake, back to all my pretty and my precious things. I put the milk away, and I started to cry. I put the music on to fill the quiet. Oh, this cluttered life. We try, we try, we try, we try, asking for more. We ask for more, always for more.
Thank you.
It's Jesse, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Much to my surprise, Rachel's amazing story and beautiful song just made me think of the Muppet movie.
Of course.
You all know the scene where Kermit and Fozzie are on the run. They're trying to escape Doc Hopper's French fried frog legs. And they're driving down the road, and they see this old church on the side of the road, beautiful old building, kind of ramshackle, and all the, the rafters are bouncing and the windows are bouncing, and there's this crazy electric noise. This was my first introduction ever to Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, who remain my favorite band of all time to this day. Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, look them up if you've never listened to them. Kermit and Fozzie walk in the door, and Dr. John is on the electric organ, and he's going crazy, and Janet, each of these characters is modeled after a famous musician. Janice is playing guitar, Zoot is playing saxophone, they're going crazy, and Fozzie just turns to Kermit and says, "They don't look like Presbyterians to me." That's what I thought of when you told that story, Rachel. Thank you. I'm Jesse. I think this is the part where I'm supposed to get up and say some things, but I've gotten all scrambled around because I've had a really inspiring night so far with lots of old friends and new friends and all of you even newer friends. There's all these great people in this room, so I just went back and rehashed everything I thought I had to say, thanks to you, which is kind of the magic of gathering in a place with people, is it makes you rethink everything sometimes. I went to the University of Iowa, like Bob said. If I knew that crowds this big would come out for university... Sorry, it's not a 58. Yeah, I'll stay right here, yeah. I was actually just going to say, if I knew crowds this big would come out for university classes, I would have stopped playing rock and roll a long time ago and just focused on this right here. My time in Iowa City was honestly 4 of the greatest years of my life, and Bob and Dave and all these folks who help put these things on, they're very generous to the students, but I think also they are truly life-changing forces in all of our communities. I'd like to give them a big round of applause right now, please. So because of Bob and folks like him, I got to experience literature, science, and the arts at the University of Iowa. I thought at one point I was going to be an astronomer. If your teacher was named Steve Spangler, you would think that too. And also because the cosmos is vast. It's the ultimate playground for curious souls. I could never decide on a major. This is my confession to you. I still don't think I've decided on a major in life, though on paper it looks like I studied filmmaking, political science, and Spanish. I'll tell you how I brought those together later on over drinks somewhere else. To me, honestly, life in Iowa City felt like an infinite bucket of hearts. I thought that was the perfect phrase for it. And I realize now that's because my community, the Bob Kirbys, the James Gangs, the Andre Perrys, the Katie Roaches, the Etta Englerts, the Ghostface Killas, the Nate Staniforths, all of the other weird, wonderful folks I had the pleasure of meeting along the way, all the Dr. Teeths and the Electric Mayhems. That community allowed me the space, the freedom, the patience, the love to find my own way. If you can see your path laid out in front of you, step by step, Joseph Campbell said, you know it's not your path. Your own path you make with every step you take. That's why it's your path. That is such a true, simple sentiment, but it has stuck with me since I first read it here in 1999 in Iowa City. Your path is not your major, right? Your path is the million minors. It's the dead ends and rabbit holes and wormholes and riverbanks along the way. I guess that's why after forays into human rights law and macroeconomics, and even after running an Italian deli on the Jersey Shore for one summer, that's a true story, I did that, I eventually got back around to music. It was the thing that I found that made space for all the minors, all the outliers, the outcasts, the outlaws, the outer space, all the outs. Music includes life at the margins and the lives of the marginalized better than any other community I've found. And that to me is the definition of community itself. From the very youngest, how about a big round of applause for the preschool kids tonight? From the very youngest to the most experienced, let's say, from the most traditional to the newest and the most cutting edge, that's music. All languages, nationalities, lifestyles, occupations, passions, music makes space for all of it. To me, music, in the context of community, is the embodiment of love. And love is the purpose of life, I think. Itay Talgum, a great conductor, once tried to describe the ultimate happiness of his job. And he pointed to all the things around him. The important thing, he says, is this happiness doesn't come from only the conductor's own story, his own joy of music. The joy is about enabling other people's stories to be heard at the same time. You have the story of the orchestra as a professional body. You have the story of the audience as a community. You have the stories of the individuals in the orchestra and in the audience, and then you have the other stories, unseen. People who built this wonderful concert hall, people who made all those beautiful instruments, and all those stories are being heard at the same time. Or maybe as my dear friend Andre Perry once said tonight, actually, he said it once tonight, can we get the community into a space together? Can you attend? Can you be curious? Can you take a chance with us? I thought that was really well put. I'll be back in a bit.
So, I spent a number of years touring around all by my lonesome, making records, exploring the world, using music as a vehicle to engage with friends and strangers in near-at-hand lands and far away. And the desire to collaborate with people was growing and growing. And so I started to tour with a band, which I still do. I usually have other musicians with me, and that's a great joy. But still, there was something, there's something that would gnaw away at me. It still felt a little hungry, being a touring musician. Like I was just always seeking the spotlight and seeking attention and trying to fill some space in me that was never going to be filled by a bunch of strangers, and whether or not they liked me night to night. So the idea came to me a few years ago to start a community choir. I had recently moved to Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is where I live now, and I knew, sometimes I get these notions, an idea sparks, and it has such blistering rightness and familiarity that I know beyond a doubt that that is part of my future. I might not be able to see the path cleanly, but I know that that is one of the stopping points. And so a few years ago, last year, I started a community choir called Kith and Kin Chorus, and Kith and Kin is kind of an old English way of saying friends and family. So it seems to me that voices are the original instrument. There's nothing to me that's more unifying than voices raised together in song. I wanted to create a community of people who weren't bound by religion, race, ethnicity, political thought, age, class, anything. I wanted people who were just coming together to make music, because we are bigger than those buckets of beliefs, and I think it's so important to make music through all the differences. And so I want to welcome the family folk machine back up to the audience, up to the stage. They're going to join me for a song that I wrote. I arranged this song for my choir back home, and they have been kind enough to learn this song, and we've been rehearsing a little bit the past couple days. Another reason I started the choir was because as I would travel around, here I was singing my music for people, and it seemed like a crying shame that so many people didn't have really a vehicle for their voice anymore. They got jobs, they had families, they were just supporting what they had built and built beautifully, but there were no more choirs for them to be in. And so it's been a great joy to give that chance to people and to work with a bunch of people who totally have songs in their hearts, in their buckets of hearts. So we're gonna sing a song called Ghost. Are you guys ready for this? Yeah? This song falls into my pep talk category of songs. For me, this song is all about how it's going to be okay. It might be a really long, strange road, but it's all gonna work out one day. I wrote this when I was living in New York City, and I missed having dirt under my hands. It's called Ghost of a Gardener, Dirt Under My Nails. One, two, three. Well, I'll return time and again to the door we entered in. No regrets, Mr. Dissident, I see. So now I know. I see. So now I go. 'Cause I'm a ghost, I'm a gardener, and I am lost in the room. I am lost with you. I'm lost. I'm a ghost of a gardener, and my rose of thistle bloom. I pick them for you. Quiet now, let's go to rest on the bed of lilies I planted. Of course they didn't take but a fine bed. They'll make my dreams full of dirt and you. My dreams of dirt and you. Ready? I'm a ghost of a gardener, and my rose of thistle bloom. I pick them for you. I pick them for you. But someday when my eyes are clouded white, I'll see this clear. I will see this clear, and then
blooming and the garden a belly full, and the willow bends for weeping, and I'll see this done. I will see this done. Yeah, beautiful, good job. The Family Folk Machine, everybody.
For Family Folk Machine right now. Rachael Reeves, thank you so much. So, after all of this amazing experimentation that we all got to do together at the University of Iowa, and all these experiences with community building, music, the arts, we put on music festivals, etc. It's got me interested in the bigger picture, and like I said, I went into the world of economics and of writing. And I found myself at a certain point with my dream job at the time. I thought it was my dream job, and I got to go to all these great places and talk with amazing people and share wonderful ideas, and on paper it was wonderful. And after a few years of that, I sort of woke up one day and thought, I've gotten away from the community of folks that I really care about, people who are doing things on the ground and in communities and with music and with nonprofit organizations. And so I left that dream job and started a whole nother life of touring for about 10 years on the road in rock and roll bands all across the country and in a few other countries as well. And it was a pretty magical thing. I came through this beautiful space a few times, and after 10 years of that, I then moved to Colorado and found a different kind of community, which was kind of getting me back to being in a more rooted space. And I really appreciated that song was about that and about finding your folks and singing along with them. I'm now, much to my surprise, heading up a project called the Music District in Fort Collins, Colorado, which, because of all these kind of winding paths that I took and because of all the great people who gave me the freedom to explore all those winding paths, they kind of came back together in one thread a couple years ago in Fort Collins, of all places. Have any of you all been to Fort Collins before? All right. It's like the Iowa City of northern Colorado, you know. The Music District is a campus of buildings. There's 5 buildings. It's spread out over about an acre of land. It's a city block, basically, in downtown Fort Collins. And we have these 5 buildings, 37,000 square feet worth of space. And we really organize all the spaces and all of our team and everything we do around these 3 big buckets. We just keep using the word buckets tonight. It seems like the right word to use. We got these 3 big buckets of hearts. We call the art of music, the business of music, and the community of music. And I'm going to tell you real quick what they are, regardless of whether you come out to Fort Collins or not. To me, it's a good way to kind of organize your thoughts around any project. The art of music is really about the core creative content. It's who you are. It's our songwriting classes. It's our artist residencies. It's exploring workshops and forming new bands, and again, really finding yourself and what you want to say. And once you find that melody, how do you combine it with other people's melodies and counterpoint? How do you harmonize with other folks? How do you serve as the rhythm section to other people? How do you make the beats while they do the rhymes, or vice versa? It's a collaborative thing. We talk about the business of music because we really believe in the sustainability of all these ventures. It's not so much about making money as it is about continuing to gather the nutrients that make what all of us do possible. So whether we're touring artists or managers, booking agents, whatever it may be. How do we form that ecosystem of community that allows people to make a living doing what they love? And by the fact that you're out here tonight, again, as Andre said, you've attended, you've been curious, you've taken a chance with all of us, and I suspect you're the kind of people that support the arts and music and the beauty that they bring to your lives and to the bigger community as well. So the business of music for us is really about that. How do we find ways to materially support each other in ways that really matter? And then the community of music, our third bucket at the Music District, is really the biggest because it's everything else. It's nonprofits, it's higher education, K through 12. We have a community radio station at the Music District. How do we, once we've found a sustainable way to support each other, once we've made that great art, once we've turned it into good, responsible, sustainable local business, how do we then give back in some sense and use music as a convening point for bigger issues, for bigger things in society? So we do workshops on, the environment and music, on race and social issues and music, on affordability and economics and music. And we really use music as this lens through which the rest of the community, musicians and non-musicians alike, because that's really important to us, that we gather not just the people making the music, but also the people who love it or make it in their spare time or make it as amateurs in the best sense of the word. They do it because they love it. We gather all those folks together and we talk about things outside of just music and how can we make our community a better place. I'm sure that will resonate with all of you in this room tonight. But as Rachel and I were talking today about the kinds of things we really wanted to talk with you about, and in a few minutes we're going to turn this over to Q&A and you can ask us any crazy thing you'd like to in the entire world. But we talked about how do you then turn back from community into art again? So if you have the art of music, the business of music, the community of music, how do you recenter yourself once you've gone out and done great things with wonderful people and been inspired and put all your energy out there and got energy from other people? How do you go back to a quiet place, to a silent space, to really your own inner creative core, to sort of start the cycle again with that melody that can then turn into harmony, that can then turn into a rhythm or beat or a bigger collaboration, a show, if you will? How do you start out with that core nugget again? And we're going to show a quick video, which I think is up here, but no one's told me exactly where. Do you know?
I think someone there might be able to help you.
Oh, thank you.
While that's happening.
Rachel made a really beautiful video about this process. Do you want to talk about it before for a minute or after?
I'll say a few things about it. For one, this is the world premiere. This is to promote a record that's not out yet. That'll be out next spring. So no one has seen this other than on my computer screen. So I probably a good number of you maybe have fun dealing with anxiety and depression. Anybody? Yeah, woo! It's amazing, isn't it? So one of the most powerful ways that I deal with that is through meditation. It's a slow game, but it has paid off. It's made me a little bit more sane. So I wrote a song all about meditation, which is a little bit funny because meditation, you're still, well, at least the way I do it, I'm very still. I am closing my eyes, and so I'm kind of in inner darkness, and I'm silent. And I decided, okay, well, I'm going to write a song, so I'm going to convert that stillness, I'm going to convert that silence into sonic sound and expression. I'm going to convert that inner closed-eye darkness, I'm going to translate that into visuals and movement and a video, and I'm going to take that stillness, that meditative stillness, and work with some dancers to create, to choreograph meditation and movement. So we're going to show you this video for a song called Windswept. And if we could bring the lights down, that would be awesome.
That was cool. That's what collaboration can do. I don't know how many of y'all have had the pleasure of making a music video, but that takes so many more people than it looks like from what's on screen there. Thank you, Rachel. Are we going to try an experiment of some kind?
Were we what?
Are we going to try an experiment of some kind?
Are we going to make them sing?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's right. This has all just been a warm-up for you. Somebody give us a note. No, I mean like sing it. Great, somebody give us another note. How about over there? Those notes are all just totally arbitrary. I just wanted to get you guys warmed up. What are we going to do now?
Well, so I think we were going to say how, well, we're in a house where music lives.
Uh-huh.
That's one thing we were going to say.
Uh-huh.
This is kind of the last element before the Q&A.
Uh-huh.
We're going to sing a song together. Another one that I wrote, it's a little more straight ahead than what you just saw. There's actually repeatable choruses and such. So this song, it's called For a Song, and I think I wrote it when I was finishing construction on the little tiny abode that I live in, a little tiny house. And it seems like such a true thing that all we're trying to do is find a space, whether that's like a physical space or a community of people where we can nurture and foster creation, creative energy, collaboration. Yes?
Yep, that's
Would you agree with that
perfect. I would
statement?
agree with that.
Yeah.
That's great.
And
So now y'all are going to do that with Rachel.
we're all going to do it together. This song is a reminder to me that it matters. It matters that there's space for creation, that there's space for all of our dreams and all of our attempts. And thank you to the Elliott for being a house where music lives and all kinds of art. This place is beautiful.
This place did not exist like this when I lived in Iowa City, so how about another round of applause for the miraculous rebirth of the Elliott Theater.
Do you know this song?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to help be a leader.
Yeah.
So the chorus goes like this, and the lyrics you're going to sing are long, long gone, long, long gone, long, long gone, soon. Can you handle that? I think so. So it's going to go like this, and if you sing the wrong notes, that's just harmony. Don't worry about it. Just sing. Sing your faces off. So this is how the chorus goes. I'll never be long, long gone. No, I'll never be long, long gone. But if I should be long, long gone, I'll be home soon. Do you think you can do that? The long, long gone soon? Should we try it once? Okay, all right, don't be shy. Life is too short to be shy. Unless you're shy, then it's okay. Be yourself. Oh, I'll never be long, long gone. No, I'll never be long, long gone. But if I should be long, long gone, I'll be home soon. Yeah, you got it. You got it? You'll have 3 chances to do it in the context of the song, and I believe in you. Jesse, I believe in you the most. Sing out. All right. Well, I'm just trying to build a house where music lives, where I can live a long, long time for a song. I just gotta believe that a house where music lives is worth a damn and worth all the wandering that preceded. And I'll never be long, long gone. Yeah. No, I'll never be long, long gone. But if I should be long, long gone, I'll be home soon. Next time, see if you can throw in some harmony. It's going to be amazing. Well, I'm just trying to build a house where music lives, where two can live in sincere care for a song. I just gotta believe that a house where music lives is worth a damn and worth all the lonely years that preceded and will never be long, long gone. Yeah, no, will never be long, long gone. But if we should be long, long gone, we'll be home soon. Well, I'm just trying to build a house where music lives, where the muse can come and go, always knowing she's got a home. I just gotta believe that a house where music lives is worth a damn and worth all the loneliness and all of the wonder. And if I've earned a life I love, and worth a damn and worth all the quiet years that preceded, and she'll never be long, long gone. May she never be long, long gone. But if she should be long, long gone, she'll be home soon.
Good job, everyone.
If you guys could give one more round of applause to Rachel and Jesse. I also would like you to thank tonight's team. It was led by Allison, Melanie, and Katie, but as a whole troop, a whole bunch from back here giving instructions. So if you could thank the students that put this on.